You're listening to the Chelsey Holm podcast, where high-functioning Christian women come to lay down performance, pick up presents, and finally come home to who God created them to be. I'm Chelsey, the wife coach, mindset trainer, and your guide back to God-first living, soul-deep peace, and restored connection in your marriage, your motherhood, and identity. If you've been holding it all together on the outside while unraveling on the inside, you're in the right place. Let's breathe deep and begin. I used to think I had to drink to loosen up, to be fun, to match my husband's vibe, to stop being the one who was too much or too serious. But now I unapologetically order water, and I've never been more free to do that. You know, even for a while when I started ordering water, I would still feel that shame and like, oh, like I'm being extra, and you know, none of that really matters. Like, it just doesn't. But the only reason that like I've been able to do that is because, first of all, I've regulated my nervous system, but second of all, I've sank deeply into who God wants me to be. And so shame is not covering me and like drowning me and suffocating me anymore. And like, this has been the trajectory, because when, you know, Zach and I first started having marriage struggles and some of the really big issues that we dealt with, you know, I went into full-on performance and showing up in this way that, you know, I thought that he wanted me to be. And so it was all about like me doing and me taking it upon myself to like be the solution, right? And so like I would go to bars with him and drink to have fun or loosen up, when it just it's never really been my thing. I mean, we've all had our college days. If you haven't, like, good for you. But, you know, we all did. And, you know, it never really was awesome for me, you know, and it was just like, you know, this belief. And I think that this is society, right? Like alcohol as a numbing, as a way to let loose, like it's totally socially acceptable, right? Like believing alcohol makes you more fun or more relaxed, or like for me, like I thought it was engaging in what he was doing and would make him want me more, right? But again, like it was all rooted in performance, pressure, and like it was trying to loosen up externally instead of feeling safe internally. Like at the time, I did not feel safe internally. And so the deeper thing that was going on here, though, the deeper reason behind it is I wasn't regulated, I wasn't connected, and I wasn't confident in being myself, you know? So just actually this last year, I said that very Wisconsin-like. So I'm originally from Indiana. My husband's from Wisconsin, but I lived half my life in Indiana and half my life in Wisconsin. And so every now and then I have these really weird, like, accents that come out. It makes me laugh when I catch it. But, you know, okay, so the big shift happened for me just this last year, because I had been in this doing and performance mindset for so long that I literally could not be present. I could not relax. I had zero chill. I was a master multitasker, making lists, getting stuff done, checking off boxes. But the problem with that is I was always 20 miles ahead on my to-do list and could not actually sit and enjoy a situation. And I had this like desperate need to like earn my rest and then feel guilty when I did rest. And most of the time I wasn't actually resting. I was just checking out and disassociating. Because I hadn't actually learned how to emotionally be mature and to process my emotions, to name them, to express them, to feel them. I didn't know how to like hold space for the growth. And so what my journey looked like was I went like all in, full intensive for a month with a coach who helped me do these things. And so it was nervous system healing. It was letting go of shame. It was reordering my identity, right? With God first, then me, then my husband, then our kids, then business and work and everything else after that. Like, it was, you know, and that was such a small thing. It's not like I had this like huge drinking problem. Like, I actually stopped drinking back in 2023 because I was a gestational carrier. And so like from the transfer date through me pumping, so that was like a year and a half, I think. I couldn't drink anyways. And then I was starting to learn more about alcohol and what it does in our body and how it's really poison and, yada, 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 and all the things. And I already had a sluggish liver at the time that I was dealing with. And so I started having, before the gestational carrier, I started having these attacks where if I mixed fried food and alcohol together, my gallbladder freaked the heck out because gallbladder, liver, all that stuff together, and I would literally puke forever. Sorry if that's TMI. For 24 hours until everything was gone and there was just literally nothing. It was horrible. It would start with what seemed like a headache that wouldn't go away and just kept getting worse and worse and worse until I started puking. And then it was a terrible thing. And as a mom of 5, I ain't got time for that. And especially when I was living in full on performance and anxiety all the time, high functioning anxiety, definitely not right. And so it wasn't so much drinking for me, but for me, it was any kind of numbing or disassociating or checking out, and understanding that confidence doesn't come from that. Peace doesn't come from any of that, right? It comes from safety, alignment, and actual presence. And so today, my husband and I, we have a favorite bar in town. It's a little dive bar that the locals know about, but we love it because they serve food all night long, and it's usually pretty chill. And I walk in and I get my water and we're good to go, and I have my delicious food and I do a happy dance because I love it so much. And so we still go out, but it's mutual, it's fun, and it's pressure free, right? Now, occasionally, if it's a special occasion, I will have an espresso martini because, hello, coffee? What? That's the best. Okay, but, it's not about proving or loosening up. It's just me fully present and fully free, and that's really where I am today. And I want to speak directly to you right now, the woman who feels performing is your way of life, and you don't have to earn your rest. You don't have to numb or check out or disassociate to think you're resting or having fun. You don't have to be a master multitasker. Actually, it turns out I suck at multitasking. I really do. Now that I have a regulated nervous system and I'm living in the present and relaxed, I suck at multitasking. I can only do one thing at a time, and it's a great thing. And so I just want you to understand that, you don't have to become what your husband wants in an effort to think that that's going to save your marriage, right? You get to be who God made you to be. And the real freedom is in laughing without the pressures. The real confidence is being fully present without needing to escape. So if you're tired of pretending, tired of performing, and all this stuff, look at my free resources. I got you, girlfriend. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and remember, you do not have to become something else to be loved. You just have to return to who God already created you to be, deeply you. If this episode blessed you, share it with a friend or leave a quick review. It really does help other women find the hope and healing you just received. And don't forget, your marriage, your peace, and your joy, it's not too far gone. Nothing is too broken for God to redeem or restore. God's just getting started.